Okay, we'll just start standing today. Bring the hands forward, flip the palms open, give me 5 big rotations into your wrists in one direction, and then we go 5 the other way. And then we make a fist, same thing, keep circling the wrists and change direction. And arms out wide, start circling around your elbows. Change direction. And then we bring the knuckles with the thumbs down next to the eyes, connect the elbows and open. Try to get the movement in your shoulders and thoracic spine. And then hands onto the shoulders, big circles. Let's just go backwards. We spend enough time having our shoulders hanging forwards. And hands on the ribs, try to rotate the ribs so you feel the ribs flaring out in the front and pushing into the back. It helps to use your inhale to lift the ribs up and your exhale to move it back. And we circle the other way as well. Nice. And then start rotating your knees up to the belly button and out. And then let's move the screen down a little bit. We'll start bending forwards over our legs and micro bend and extend the knees a few times to loosen up the hamstring. Keep your shoulders and the torso heavy. And then find a squat. In your squat, flip the palms all the way over your head. See that you can lengthen the back, drop the tailbone down, and then roll back forward 2 more times. Flip the palms, reach the palms up. Exhale, fold forward. Last one. Inhale, lift and reach tall. And exhale, forward fold. Walk in a plank position from here. Rock forward and back from your toes to your wrists. And then with the feet hip width apart, we want to wrap the shoulders down to keep space in the collarbone and go into a side plank. Reach the right arm all the way overhead. Bring it back to center, wrap the shoulders down, other side, reach it far overhead. One more time each side. Feel the scapulas pulling together in the back. And bring it down into a tabletop. Give me 10 slow motion wrist push-ups. Also use those not only to strengthen the wrist, but also to actively stretch them. You really want to go onto the knuckles and enjoy the stretch for a second before you release them all the way back down. And fingers are pointing towards you. We'll bend the elbows to peel off the heel of the hand and bring it back down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit all the way back over your heels. I'm gonna come a bit closer so you see better. You want to go full range of motion in the shoulders. Reach the arms all the way over the head. Bring them to the ears. Out. We flip the hands with the thumbs down, and we try to connect the hands behind the back without touching the back. Out to the side, flip overhead, pull it back down to the ears. Straighten, turn the thumb down, connect behind. In all these motions, I know it's very tempting to kind of plug the shoulders forward and close the collarbone space. So see that you can keep the collarbones open and lifted to the ceiling without involving your lumbar spine. And next time you have the hands behind the back, we'll let the elbows drop forward and pull them back. Here you also feel when the elbows drop forward, how that collarbone space closes, and when we pull the elbows back, how that lifts. With the lifted position back, we'll try to release the hands one more time from the lower back. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Come into a seated position. If you want to put a block or a ball between your knees, you can. Or reach the arms forward. Try to roll back to a point where you feel that shaking from the deep core. And then we'll lift one arm at a time, still keeping the collarbones open. If it's too easy, take both hands at the same time. Watch your posture, head in one line with the spine. And take one moment to breathe. We go into the rotation, so you can tent your fingertips. And now we're going to reach from side to side, also not closing the front. Keep a proud, open chest. Find the rotation from the opposite rib cage. Use your exhale to go into the twist. And then release. We'll open our legs in a comfortable straddle. Give me a few rotations around the hips. Change direction. And then find a straddle that's so comfortable that you can interlace your hands behind the head. Again, the elbows stay wide as you go forward to your own degree. Use your exhale to find the lowest point. Pause for a second, bring it back up. You want to avoid as we're going forward to just round. So think of sternum to the ground rather than head to the ground. Last one. And then release. The legs come back into a tabletop. From your tabletop, you lift your right knee up and kick the leg towards the front. Lift it back up. Kick. One more. This side. Left knee hikes up. Try to get your thigh towards your shoulder without shifting the weight in the hand. Last one. And release. From the knees, open to the side, one big circle over the head back. Then we switch other side. Reach far, out long, biggest circle. And other side. One more time on each. And then from our tabletop, we walk the hands forward on the fingertips to have a moment in a puppy stretch. Pull the ribs back, find that nice long lower back. See if you can move your head and neck. And then we'll bring it back. And one more squat. In your squat, we'll have the fingers forward so we can connect the knees in the front and open. You can support yourself as much as you need with the hands to make that rotation happen. I really need to come on my toes as well. And then bring your feet, your knees all the way together. If you can, bring your ankles down. Reach the arms overhead. Pull the knees to the chest. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. How is the warmth? Is it good enough? Yeah. Okay, then let's just start doing our first handstands. However you want, just take a moment to get upside down, finding your straight handstand. You know, in your first handstand, it's nice to be quiet. Do that if you know you want some wiggles to find more connection to the ground. Go ahead and do that. I'll give you a couple minutes to arrive on your hands today. Looks super good. Maybe better to do handstands today before all the Christmas food. Super good. So if you know there's one more stretch or something that you need in between, take that. I feel like in winter I need twice as many stretches. Really nice alignment, Josie. Michaela, that looks really grounded, really nice. Last one, and then I want to give a little bit more input to the straight position. Right. So for the next one, it's still going to be a straight handstand, and you can choose if you do that belly to the wall to just feel that detail, or if you feel okay trying it free in the room. If you lift one arm up and you place the other hand on your chest and collarbone, even if we push more from the back of the shoulder, we should still feel like there is space in our collarbone. If we close the arm too much to the front, it's hard even to feel the collarbone because the pec muscle is going to be in the way. So I want you to find that openness in the shoulder and find the elevation of the shoulder, but still feel that your collarbones are not rotated in, but lifted up. And then we try that laying down, and we have a little bit more reference of the floor. So the armpits go down to the ground first, and then we just hover the shoulders above the ground, the ribs pull back, and then you should feel the same position. It's a bit more active than what you did before. Armpits down to the ground. Lift the belly button off the floor. Now try that same position in your handstand. I'm going to try to show it from the side. So here, my collarbone space is closed. Here, I'm bringing it in an open position, and I can use the back of the shoulder a lot more. Feel free to try it belly to the wall, then you don't have to worry about the balance so much. And it's not a big movement. Just see if that cue helps you to find the back of the shoulder rather than only the front working. Looks good. Nice. Yeah, I can see the difference. Nice, Laura. Good cat. And if you're not used to that position, it also feels slightly more back in the body, and it might mess a bit with your balance in the beginning. But especially later, if you want to go to positions like bringing the head in or even further, like side bends and one arms, we need that back activated to help. Beautiful. And maybe it's not the collarbone cue that helps you, but more the armpits or whatever you felt on the floor drill that we did. Maybe there's something else that helps to find that in your body. Okay, we'll go a bit more towards straddle. You can keep trying that also in different shapes. We'll just try it standing to feel the difference if we're in a kind of goddess pose. And this naturally brings the tailbone out. And then we kind of break the connection from the hips to the shoulders. And we want to lengthen the tailbone and bringing the deep core into the game. And then we have this strong connection between shoulders, deep core, and pelvis. And then the opposite would be if we overdo it, then we would end up in a like too piked and hollow body position, which we can hold, but it's just very strong to hold for the shoulders. So often I put one hand on the belly and back and see that both sides are equally long. And that's kind of the position we want in our straddle as well. So straddle, even when you're sitting down, for most people, is very tempting to dump the weight in the lower back. And I always have to think of like a more elevated pelvis position and long lower back. I find that's a lot easier to find if we go from our straight position, and you can either kick up or straddle jump, and you keep the elevation and the long back that you have in your straight position as you bring the legs down instead of going into this position. And it's just the pelvis kind of dropping or going in one line with the shoulders and hips. Find that position before we add to that. I know it's harder to think about it upside down, but it is the same motion that you did in that goddess position, bringing the pelvis under. It does feel upside down, like the feet are a little higher, but from the outside, it doesn't really look that way. If we just bend in the lower back and the legs drop also slightly behind, which then if we go later from straddle to straight a few times, and you can try that now as well with that elevated position. If you go from straight to straddle, it shouldn't change your foundation. But if we go in the straddle, that dumps the weight in the lower back. If we go back up, we either fall to the back or we overcompensate to the front and we end up in a too hike position. That looks really good, Nadine. Nice, Michaela. Yeah, just one more. Yeah, beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. Yes, nice lengthening in the lower back. Really good. Really nice. Okay. Try to keep that length in the lower back. Go a bit more towards side bends. So find a straddle that's comfortable. Reach one arm to the front and the other one overhead. As you're doing this, still from the side, we don't want to go into the lower back. We want to reach really in one line with the shoulders, ribs, and hips. If we're here, it's actually really hard for the lumbar spine. Other side. It's a little more active, but in handstands, it's also going to be a bit more active. Okay, a few options to try this. I want you to go from your straight position and your exhale a bit to the side, or you use it as a dismount. You open one leg and you try to go out in a cartwheel. It still activates the same side bend motion, but then you don't have to pause it so much. That elongation in the spine. Use your exhale as you bend the legs to the side. Beautiful. Really nice. And if you come back up, try to use your inhale to lift the legs back up. You need the exhale to move the ribs into the back of the body. So trust that as you exhale and initiate the movement, the body will stop where it's able to support. Nice. And even if you try the side bend, then it might end up in a cartwheel sometimes if you've gone too low. So feel what we did in the seated position where one arm reaches forward, the other one reaches up. Think about that when you do that motion upside down. It will help to keep your ribs in the right position. Yeah, nice. Really good. Nice. I just want to show one advanced side bend drill for the people who want to work this a bit harder. You need blocks for it. Um, one block would be enough. But we start with the block in the middle. We would go to our left side bend, and there's a mini shift, so we can place the hand on the block, and we rotate around the shoulder to go in a deeper side bend on the right. You can do this into a shift or into a full one arm. Whoop. Because we're going on a stair basically up, we have to force the side bend action into a deeper variation. Yeah, good. Try when you go into the side bend to not let the legs go so far away from you. So we want to, like in the seated position, initiate it by letting the hips and ribs come closer so the leg can also come closer towards you. Yeah. If you have a big enough wall like Michaela, you can do the side bends belly to wall as well. It's a really nice awareness exercise. Try to exhale a little more into the side on your right, Michaela. On your left, it looks good, but let the side ribs go more. Yeah, nice, much better. Yes, Laura. Good, good, good. Nice. Yeah, that looks good, Nadine. Bit more side crunch on the right as well. Yeah, good. Really nice. A block drill is quite hard, but very efficient to understand how much the rib can rotate on top of the shoulder. Hello? Hello? My Wi-Fi just stopped working. I had to connect to my phone. Okay, that looks really good. So one last set of the side bends. Instead of moving the legs, really think of initiating it from the center of the body so your shoulders can stay in place. Nice. Good. Go for a moment into this really weird diamond squat where the feet are together and the knees are out. Rip. Okay. Find your balance. Connect the heels, turn sideways. Wherever the diamond is depends a bit on your flexibility, but we can all focus on what we did earlier, bringing the hips, the ribs, the shoulders in one line instead of sitting with the hips back. Don't have to do that drill too long. It's quite exhausting in the legs. Then, if you have a wall, you don't have to go so low. Just get the knees out a bit and see if you can really breathe your back ribs into the wall by still connecting the shoulders and the hips into the wall to just get the ribs into the game. Nice. Okay, we'll do a bit of diamonds and we have different options. You could work on going from your straight position, connecting the toes and finding diamond in any height, and either go a few times from straddle to diamond or also from straight to diamond. Or you can work on your side bends here as well, really using the ribs to go to the side and in the lowest point, if you feel like you have the shift, you can do that as well. Especially in the diamond, try to avoid that one knee comes kind of too twisted. Then we lose the back of the shoulders. When you feel the weight going to the heel, then mostly the diamond twisted too much. Nice alignment, Nadine. Looks good, Michaela, too. Nice, Laura. Really nice. Yeah, cat. That looks great. Nice, Josie. Yeah. Yes, nice straddle jump, Michaela. Really nice. Where you jumped, now in the diamond, you just brought the legs lower. If you keep them up, you're there. The straddle jump was really, really perfect. Especially if you do the side bends, see if you can keep the weight on more the inside between the second and the third knuckle. You really want to let the weight drop into that spot. I think, Kat, you can bring the knees a little higher. They're kind of a bit too low, and then it's really heavy for the shoulders. So think of that elevation a bit in the hips before you move from there. It might help the structure of your handstand. Yeah, that looks much better. Nice, Kat. Good correction. Nice. We'll do a little stretch. If you are still working on something, keep doing it. We'll just stay in a squat, bring the shoulder on the inside of the knee, and try to go for side bend stretch here. Think of also reaching the sternum and the collarbones up. And then switch the other side. And then interlace the hands behind the head and give yourself a little neck stretch. And you can stay with what you worked before if you want to add on to this. We'll start in our diamond. As we go to the side, we lift the top leg up. You go a bit to the side and lift it up. If this is too much, you can just bring one leg out to the side and then do a cartwheel exit. That would be something in between. Or instead of going from diamond to straddle, you just do one leg at a time, meet back in the middle. And think in opposite directions, upside down. And of course, if you do want to do it as a full shift, you're welcome to do that too. Nice. That looks great, Nadine. Really nice. Nice cut. No matter what transition you do, try to do it slow. And I find it very helpful to use my exhale to go to the next shape because it keeps the ribs back and it forces us to use the deep core. Nice. Really nice cut. Yeah, nice, Josie. Yes, good. Take another minute or have a little stretching break before we move more towards tuck. Yeah, that looks great, Josie. The next drill, we need a chair, something similar. This little seat. Just want to do a little awareness exercise when the knees are together and the arms are lifted. And we keep the ribs and the lower back long and try to hover one knee up. We want to avoid closing the shoulders. So I have to work really hard to keep the shoulders back as I'm compressing my side towards the ribs. I can't lift off the ground much. Maybe you have more compression to do so. But I'm not only just lifting my leg because that would rotate my pelvis back. I'm also thinking of what we're thinking also in the L shape, that we're pulling the knee in to be able to keep the leg kind of close to the body. And you can just do a couple lifts on your right and leg lift. It's not a very comfortable drill. So yeah, feet up also works great. Yeah. As you lift the knee, also get it towards the belly button as much as you can. That looks great. Now, as we will do that in our handstand, we'll think about that same activation. However, you want to start from your straight position. The knees go down, but also pull in towards the belly button as much as possible. So if you would have the wall behind, I have to create that space from the belly button to keep the shoulders back. And depending on your practice and the lowest point, you can also bring the head in to look at your own knees. All the way up to the hips. The knees are more in a neutral position. When we bring the knees lower than the hips, we need to really keep them into the belly to keep the lower back long. Yeah, yeah, nice. Really good. So with that pulling of the knees, we also bring it more into the back of the body. Yeah, nice. Yeah, great, Michaela. Nice, Nadine. Nice. If this is too easy, you can go from here in your half pike, or you can do your tack one arm shifts. Nice, nice, nice. Good. Yes. Super nice. Yeah, nice, Michaela. Nice, nice, nice. That was the right action, cat, though. That's good. Yeah, now knees into the hips a little more, Nadine. It starts nice and then kind of overdo it, like someone would push your knees from the front into your hips. Then you can keep it more in the back. You can do it as slow as you're doing it. Good, good. Nice focus. Yeah, good. Okay. I want to do something that is similar but different. Let's see. Bring you a little closer to this wall. Maybe this side. Most of you know this drill, I think. The hands are on the height of the shoulders, and we'll bend the knees into this very open tuck position, and we'll work on getting our ribs back, but our chest low. So the knees are in one line with the hips, and I'm on my tiptoes, but I'm really just trying to find the length between my shoulder blades all the way to the hips. We're not arching, we're not rolling the tailbone under too much. So it feels very long, like someone would pull me on the hips back and on the hands forward. And this is also how it will feel in your handstand. Now, we'll also start in our straight position, and we just bring the knees in one line with the hips, and we try to get the sternum forward. Now, it's not like it feels similar like a hollow back, but more open here. And it is still kind of like a straight alignment in the back. So I'm just thinking, yeah, if you would do it with the wall, you would do it belly to wall so that your shins are fully touching the wall. I was thinking with the back to the wall, but it's not really possible. And then your shins can just be on the wall and your knees are in one line with your hips. And then you can work that thoracic spine opening. Yeah, that's perfect. Like Michaela is doing. You need to see. Nice. And you want to glue the knees together. That opening in the chest is very useful to have in a moment when we go towards a pike down. We always want to push our sternum under our shoulders. And when the legs get heavier, we work in like a heavy shape, like the pike where the legs are heavy, or a very compressed shape, what you felt in the low tuck. Then we have to keep fighting that opening in the shoulders and the collarbones to be able to have the space in the lower body. So if we go just in a standing pike forward fold for a second. Keep the hips in the center of the feet. Let your torso hang over your legs. 3 deep breaths. Keep your belly relaxed. So your belly and your thighs can Come closer. And we'll go from our straight position into our pike down and observe what I said. When the legs are in the height of the hip, it's still quite easy to keep the chest open. The lower the legs are, the more I have to work the shoulders under and the legs into the body and close to the body as I land down. You could totally do this with the back to the wall so close that you have the support in the back. Then you have, let's say, two palm distance away from the wall that your hips can kind of touch the wall on the way down, but you never want your shoulders to touch.
Es ist ein Pie gewesen. Wir haben es eben was kurz weg.
Ah, ja, okay. Ich zeige es einfach nochmal. Danke fürs Bescheid sein. Okay. We start in the straight position. We use our exhale to lower the legs as we are on the height of the hips. We need to really work the shoulders open and keep the legs close to the body as we roll down. So now the goal is to come all the way back down. You can do it rather fast or slow, but see the counter forces that the shoulders have to really work to stay there so the legs can come down close to the body. And yeah, perfect cat. Yeah, and like Michaela's doing, you can have the support of the wall in the back, only the hips touching, not the shoulders. Really good. Use your exhale, especially when you're lower than your hips. Nice, Nadine. Really good. Yeah, keep it there, Josie. Really nice. Nice. The longer your lower back is, the more you can bring your legs towards the body, similar to what we talked about in the straddle. If we have that slight arch in the ribs and back, then it's actually hard to go either in a really deep side bend or also in a low compression. Try one more and try to really use your exhale. Nice, good. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, we do a little stretch and then we'll do conditioning. So in your standing position, just interlace your hands behind the back. Open the collarbones and chest. Bend halfway forward so you can still pull the arms away and bend one leg at a time. And then I want you to choose any shape, and you can use the wall or not. And we'll try to hold that shape for 30 seconds. I'm gonna take the time for it. So it can be your easiest shape, it can be your hardest shape. You can use the wall or not, but we want to try to hold it for 30 seconds. So make your choice, find your starting position, and we'll start in 3, 2, and 1. It's about 5 long, deep breaths. Try to sink down in the center of your hands. Very good. Almost there, just 5 more seconds. And that's it. 30 seconds are over. As you sit back down, bring the palms towards the hips. Rotate the shoulder blades back and scoop your hips forward. Arms straight or bent. Doesn't matter if it feels good. You can rock a bit from side to side. And scoop your hips back. Give me one long pec forward fold. And bend the legs so your feet are all the way down and your elbows are inside of your legs, and you can use the pulling on the feet to really lift your sternum up. Also, if it feels good here, you can rock the hips a bit from side to side. And then take more time to stretch out your shoulders, your back, whatever you need. And I wish you Merry, Merry Christmas.